Everybody. Yeah. Welcome to the Arsenal versus PSV Eindhoven match preview show for Arsenal's triumphant-ish return to the Champions League. I gotta say, I am very, very excited about this match. I wanted to preview it with two of the best guys I know, and then obviously Dal can't make it because he's working away, and I'm playing hooky for the last hour of work. So I thought I'd bring in Connor and Jez to talk this over, and obviously talk it over with the chat, see how we're doing out there, and see how we're all feeling about going into this game. Champions League returns to the Emirates. Jez, how are you feeling about it?
Yeah, well, it's a big game tomorrow, and I'm excited about it, guys. I just hope that we can get the team lineup right, and that Arteta doesn't do any stupid nonsense. But yeah, I'm confident, man. I'm going 2-0 to the Arsenal. I think that if we start with Jesus up front, Trossard out on the right wing, rest Saka, I really want to see him rested because I think, you know, my thoughts on it, but we need to take him out, give him some time. I think, I'm confident, man. And I think if we have Raya in goal, I think the fact is Ramsdale has got a little bit complacent at the moment, and he's making errors and stupid nonsense. Mm-hmm. Some of his positioning for some of the goals we've conceded this season are a little bit questionable. And but my question is this, guys. When we played Everton the weekend, 1-0 up, we went back to being a little bit kicking it out the back and all this and all that, and I didn't like that because you let teams come on you when you're doing that. I'm not convinced that we have the team like Man City have got to get away with it, and that could cost us. So we'll see. Yeah, I'm confident though. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We'll get into the nitty-gritty of it, but the man himself, Connor, who is not only responsible for this incredible layout, he is going to be going to the Emirates to watch live. Connor, how are you feeling about it, man? You must be buzzing.
I am really buzzing, actually. It was a last-minute thing. So my uncle's got a season ticket at Arsenal, and he goes with all of his mates. And one of his mates double-booked himself with his wife, so he's fuming. First game in the Champions League in 6-7 years, and he couldn't go. So obviously, Arsenal have a thing where if you don't go to a certain amount of games, you get pointed or something like that. And then if you don't go to a set amount of games, they'll take your season ticket actually off you. So again, it's a free ticket. I got it for free. I'm in the lower end. I'm in block 14, I want to say. Yeah, block 14 or block 18. Yeah, block 14. So I'm right at the bottom by the corner flag. And it's my first Arsenal game since, live Arsenal game since the 4-2 Spurs win at the Emirates, and that was scenes. But this is as much as it's PSV, and in no disrespect, because obviously we played them last season. This is going to be a big night in terms of it's been 7 years, I think, or 6 years. The crowd are going to be probably really hyped up for it, and I'm really looking forward to it, especially the fact I'm going to be there. So I'm just hoping we put out a good performance. That's all I want. I want a good atmosphere from the fans, and also a good win. But I ain't going to be singing Super Mick Arteta, that's for sure. That's one thing I will not be doing. Singing that. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it.
No, I mean, I'm looking forward to watching it. I mean, it's on at 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock here in the United States, 2 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, or Daylight Time, I should say. And yeah, it breaks up the workday. I'm not going to lie. Hopefully I just hope I don't get paged out or anything like that. I will not be doing a watch along for that one, obviously, because it's in the middle of the workday. But me and Connor will be doing the Let's Be Real show, and we will be recapping the match during that, especially since Arsenal especially since Connor's going to be there. Excuse me. Speaking of Connor, his dad's here. Hello, Dad's got a ticket as well.
Yeah, he's just He called me earlier in the gym saying, "I've got a ticket." And I'm like, "Really?" I'm like, "Jesus, like impossible to get," and he actually got one. So fair play.
That's awesome.
So yeah, going with my dad as well. So that'd be good.
That's incredible. Yeah, no, absolutely. No, and let's say hi to the chat, everybody. By the way, we did hit 500 subscriptions. We are a part of the YouTube partnership program, so you can super chat. Do not feel obligated to, but you can super chat. I will get to your comment expeditiously if you do that. It grabs my attention. Otherwise, I'm going to talk to the guy in the Led Zeppelin shirt and the best Arsenal kit ever to be made. So, all right. But otherwise, let's say hi to everybody in the chat. We got Jaminho, BX Gunner, we got Mama Flossie, here to there, Drew Gunner, Game Killer, and obviously the man himself, the Plumber Pro, here as well. Okay, so I just want to call out. I was looking at Eindhoven's match squad, right? And there really aren't many people that I recognize outside, of course, the Americans. So you got Serginho Dest, who I believe has Dutch citizenship. I think he was an army brat, so he has Dutch citizenship. I think he was born there.
Yeah,
but he was not. But he was a naturalized U.S. citizen, so he plays for the United States men's team.
Yeah.
So Serginho Dest obviously played for Barcelona. Yeah, I know. I see it too. Hold on one second. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And then let me finish this thought. Otherwise, I'm going to lose my mind. And then Ricardo Pepi, recent signing at PSV Eindhoven. Another good American striker. Not as good as our boy Flo Balogun, but he is very good. He starts behind him in the U.S. national side, and I would expect Pepi to see some time during this match. Other folks I recognize on there, again, I recognize Bakayoko. He's had 4 appearances, and then who else on here? I think that pretty much does it for me. That shows how much I don't watch the Erie Divise. But yeah, we got
they've got the likes of Van
Irving
Arnholt.
Lozano. Irving Lozano's in there.
Irving Lozano. Yeah, they got the likes of Van Arnholt from Crystal Palace. I think Bella Kotchap's there on loan from Southampton, or he's been sold there either or. There's a couple. They got Luke de Jong up front as well. He was at Barcelona last season, which was just a weird signing up front. Mm-hmm. So they got some players definitely, but obviously we played them last season. And when I look at when we played them last season in the Europa League, obviously we went to their ground and we lost. It was 2-0 loss, I believe. And in my opinion, it was down. Actually, I've got to stop myself because this is more important in my opinion.
Bananas.
Right, this is more important in my opinion.
Sorry, I wanted to call this out. Danny, first super chat I've ever gotten, ever.
Wow.
Ever. Thank you very, very much. This is a banner day / moment in TJ Warren TV history. Clip that. Thank you very much, Danny. Thank you for your support. You're always there. You are always in here. From I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks since I started the channel. Danny, I knew Danny from Jez's stream, and Danny comes in here and drops a ton of cash. So again, thank you, Danny, so much for your support, both again now monetarily and just frequenting our streams and supporting the community the way that you do. Thank you so much. You are an absolute legend. Obviously, Arsenal 1987. We talked on Twitter last night. Big up yourself, my friend. I appreciate the congratulations. And yes, absolutely. To many more. I will cheers to that. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
All right. Cheers. Yes. No, I'm having a little bit of a cerveza right now because I was telling the guys in the back I got 2 fillings today. So if we had done this stream a little earlier, it would have looked like I would have looked a little wonky. Talking a little wonky. But we love it. We love it. So anyway, again, thank you, Danny. Really, really appreciate it, my friend. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead, Connor. I interrupted you.
I was gonna say, well, no, Danny, again, thank you very much, man. Massive. Honestly, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. And I was gonna say, I think when we played them last season at their ground when it was 2-0, even when they came to our ground, the guy that really did stand out in that game was Cody Gakpo. And he really did stand out. Yeah. But now he's not there. Maybe we'll have a bit more of an advantage. But then again, this Bakayoko kid looks good. You know, he was linked with Brentford and a couple other teams during the Premier League teams during the transfer window. So they've got some players, man. But at the end of the day, I don't want Arteta to think this is just a walk in the park. We need to be going there and putting out practically our strongest 11. I do think Kai Havertz will probably make his way back into the team. That's why I believe he wasn't played on against Everton.
Yeah.
But yeah, bar that, because I think he is going to play. We've got to be putting out our strongest 11, man. I think it's essential. If we want to be progressing in the group, especially when you want to be getting first, because you want to be getting, in no disrespect, the sort of lesser good team, hopefully, whoever finishes second in the other groups. So, we've got to be going into each of these group games 110%, guys. So I really hope that Arteta just doesn't think, it's only PSV, let's just fling out some of the second string boys. I mean, I do agree with Jez earlier. I do think Saka should be rested. I mean, we've got the players that can fill in for Saka. Because I even saw him at the end of the Everton game the other day, and he looked like he had a pain in his leg. There was something going on with his leg. He couldn't, he was moving around a bit funny. And I'm thinking, this guy needs to stay at home for one game. We've got people that can play in this position if it really comes down to it. So I do think, bar that, we need to be putting out a really good 11, because we've seen last season they can beat us if they want to. So I want to see a strong team practically, and just a good performance, especially for the first game back as well in the Champions League.
Yeah. Jez, do you think in your heart of hearts that Arteta is actually going to sit Saka, or is he going to play him into the ground?
No, he'll play him.
Yeah.
He'll play him. You know that. But I brought it up earlier on. The last player that we had that had an Achilles injury was Santi Cazorla. And he never recovered.
Yeah.
The operations ruined his career.
Yeah.
And if this niggling Achilles problem with Saka is a problem, then I'm sorry, you've got to rest him. And the only cure is surgery or rest. The worst scenario is surgery. John Barnes, iconic England footballer, had surgery. He was never the same again. He never had the flexibility in his ankle ever again. And when you look at people, top athletes that have an Achilles problem and they have to have surgery or whatever, because they can't flex that ankle the same as before, their muscle definition in that leg disappears. And if you guys go back and look at the documentary he did when he retired, compared with his other leg, you can see the muscle formation is weaker because you can't put the strength into that leg. And this is my concern, guys, is that Arteta is such an arrogant person that he will continue to run players into the grounds at what cost? And this is a young guy. This is a young player, right? You can't do that to young guys. Even though he's played this amazing amount of games, he still isn't fully developed. Yeah, I mean, it's a known fact that men do not get the full body strength until they're around 25, 27. Yeah?
Facts.
He's still developing. And if he's developing with a problem in his Achilles, it could cause him all kinds of crap and ruin him. It could ruin him. And I think it's a disgrace. So I'm manager. I'm resting him. I'm resting him for the game. We don't need him tomorrow. We don't need him. We can put Smith Rowe out there. We can put Jesus out there. We could put even Trossard out there, right?
Yep.
So why risk it? Because Saka is such a problem to defences. It proved it on the weekend, didn't it? Again, he had 2 or 3 players on him every single time, right? Because he causes trouble. He's not fully fit. And if we noticed, towards the end of that game, he was limping.
Yeah, we did notice. Dal actually called that out for me.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was holding his leg. He was stumbling around.
So he's clearly got an issue. So why do we keep risking this? This is what frustrates me with this management. Seriously, we've got players to put out there, especially PSV. Oh, I'm not going to deny they're a decent team, right? But at the Emirates, we should be pasting them.
Yep.
So don't even put him on the bench, Saka. Leave him at home, rest him up. We've got players to bring on. But I wouldn't be at all surprised if he starts. I wouldn't be at all surprised.
Yeah. Okay. So the big question that I want to ask you too, and I think there's been a lot of overhype about this personally. I've been getting asked on every stream I go on about the Raya Ramsdale situation. What are your takes on the Raya Ramsdale situation? Is it as big of a deal? And maybe I just come from a different background to where it's Raya, when we were linked to Raya, I always said it was 1A, 1B, Ramsdale, Raya. Like, we have good options for all the competitions that we're going into. Is that a permanent solution in reality? Probably not. Just because we have Raya out there, we have 2 number 1 goalkeepers on one team that rarely lasts, right? Mm-hmm. I do know that much in terms of European football. But that being said, is there too much hype getting built around having these 2 goaltenders? I think it's as easy as saying, yeah, we want one player, we want one goalie in one game, and we want one goalie in another game or scenario. Like it's one of those things where, like this, what Jaminho said earlier, what do you guys make of this waffle that Arteta is considering switching goalkeepers mid-game? I think that's ridiculous. But this whole narrative on, like, you have to play you have to play a certain goalkeeper in certain situations. We have 2 very, very good goalkeepers. I think I might be bugging out a little bit. Sorry if my internet's going a little bit. Yeah. But yeah, no, I wanted to get your guys' take on this because we know Mikel Arteta is an arrogant prick. Okay? We know it. He's not going to answer any questions that he deems ridiculous. So that whole, are you going to start Raya over Ramsdale? Is he the new number 1 question? He didn't want to answer it, so he went off about, freaking Fabio Vieira's jersey number or some shit. I don't know. But it's one of those things where, are we making too big of a deal out of this at this point? Because I don't think there is a clear number 1. I think that if you were to name a number 1, it is Ramsdale at this point, with Raya chasing. But I don't think either of them are sweating it. But maybe I'm just not reading the situation correctly. Connor, what do you think?
Can't be honest. I think it's the news outlets just chatting shit. If I'm going to be so brutal, because it's hilarious. I knew this was going to happen. We started Raya, which is fair. I think he had a good game, kept a clean sheet, didn't have really much to do, but when he did, he done very well. Literally, I was sat with my mate who supports Brentford and watching it, and he was, even when there was moments where, like, for example, Everton had corners, he was even saying, right, he's going to go ahead and pick this up straight away. He's going to go ahead and grab this. He doesn't just sit there and wait, which is actually what Ramsdale does do sometimes. He just sort of sits there and wait to see the ball come his direction.
The ball
Raya actually comes out. But anyway, my point is, I knew this was going to happen, and as soon as this was going to happen, news outlets were going to start talking, and they have Ramsdale linked with Chelsea and Bayern Munich. Is he F? I'm not going to say it because obviously we're now monetized. Don't want to get into these swear words in, but
I already dropped one. Okay.
He's not linked with Chelsea and Bayern Munich. He's happy at Arsenal. It's very clear he's happy at Arsenal, and I don't mind seeing a bit of competitiveness in the goalkeeper position. I don't like this mid-game stuff because no manager, does that to his team. If Mikel Arteta is the first one to do that, then that just shows, doesn't it? But if you're really going to do that, you're just a fool. You do that in pre-season. They do it in pre-season. That's the only time you will see that happen in a pre-season game. Yeah. So I don't think, as it stands, the only way that they can, unless it's on the pitch, the only way you can determine who's starting as in that goalkeeper position is if you see it in training. It's as simple as that. And to be fair to Raya, he had a good first game. I mean, does it warrant him a next start? Yeah, he kept a clean sheet. He done the job. He done the job that a goalkeeper's meant to do. It's a clean sheet, keep the saves. So, and that's nothing against Ramsdale. But, it's going to be a tricky situation, man. I mean, we all knew this was going to happen when Raya came in, because we knew that he wasn't just going to be there. He's not 30 years old. He's not 33. He's not just going to sit on the bench and be there for cup games. He's going to be wanting to play each game. So whether now Arteta is now going to play Raya in the league and then Ramsdale in the Champions League and the cup, maybe that's what we're going to do now. But listen, it's down to Mikel Arteta what he wants to do. But if he's going to do this stuff with subbing in between games, and I don't know. But all I know is, and I can see it, Ramsdale seems happy at Arsenal. If anything, this should be making his performances when he is playing 10 times better, because he knows if he screws up, Raya is straight into that position every single game. So, I don't know why people are already saying, Ramsdale was just out completely. He's going to be sidelined for the rest of the season. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like Raya very much, and I would like to see more of him, but I don't think we're just going to quickly just sideline Ramsdale instantly. I don't think we will. But listen, at the end of the day,
can I just make a quick interruption, just real quick. So Raya did have a very good game against Everton, but was he really tested? Was he really tested?
No, I wouldn't say so.
No. So I think you can ride the merit if you're gonna justify him taking over for Ramsdale. Justify it by the absolute barrage of shots that he saved last season. He was a top 3 goaltender in the Premier League last season. Justify it with that, not off of one P-roller shot at Everton and how he played out of the back at Everton. Do I think he played well? Yes. But you cannot discount what Ramsdale did for us last season versus what Raya did for his team last season. I really do think that Raya has a little bit more to go before you can say, oh, yeah, we're going to have this conversation about a goalie controversy. I really don't think that we're there yet. I really don't. I would love to see Raya in a game like Wednesday.
Yeah.
Because in a game like Tottenham, it gets a little bit hairier, right? Yeah. I would go with Ramsdale against Tottenham. But, sorry, Connor. I'll let you finish your thought, but then I want to go back to Jez about historically what he's seen and what you would do. I mean, I agree with Wolfgang on this one. It's hype. I agree with this 100%.
It's all for the news outlets.
And I quoted you on my show with Perchy the other day, Connor. Shiny new toy syndrome, and this fan base is ridiculous. You're willing?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
it's awful.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I completely agree with you. This is a thing which we now see often. As soon as someone now comes into the team, whether they're good or not, they're instantly in the favourites. For now they're going to be picked forever. Screw the last guy who was in there. We don't care. I mean, it's quite funny. Notice how, because I'm going a bit off topic now, but notice how Granit Xhaka, Arsenal fans wouldn't shut up about him leaving. They were like, "Oh, please don't leave Granit. Don't leave." Have you heard anything? Have you heard any word from Arsenal fans about Granit Xhaka since Declan Rice has been playing? No, you haven't. You haven't. So this is the thing with Arsenal fans. They just can't let go of the old, and it's all like this. But then as soon as a new thing comes, and like, oh, look, let me play with this. It's new. It's brand new. I love it. So listen, Ramsdale has his moments. I'll quickly wrap up here. Ramsdale has his moments. We all know that. He's had his moments where he's been very complacent and he's made mistakes, i.e. he comes off his line, reckless passes, something like that. But he's not a bad goalkeeper. He's been very good for us, actually, in my opinion. But honestly, TJ, I think it's news outlets that are doing this. Raya comes in and instantly it's in the news. Bang, Ramsdale is linked with Chelsea and Bayern. He's not. He's happy at Arsenal. I think that's all just paper talk, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, we're in a situation, like I said now, where Raya's going to be sneaking up on his. We'll see what happens on tomorrow, who starts. But we're now in a position where it's going to be between Ramsdale and Raya who performs the best. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
What's the word? Fight the fittest, whatever the word is. And we'll see what happens. But I think both goalkeepers are happy, and I think both goalkeepers are ready to put in 110%, which is what we want. It's what we all want. So, yeah.
No, I agree with you 100%. Big up Bobby K, by the way. Bobby K is a Tottenham supporter with sort of a good head on his shoulders. He's a Tottenham supporter, so you can't say he's like 100% all there, but he's a nice guy. So I'll be going on Bobby's channel. I believe at 5:30 p.m. on Friday. I took Friday off because I knew his streaming was going to be absolutely insane with the North London Army coming up. I'll be on his channel with Kuva and a couple other folks. So go and subscribe to Bobby K if you haven't already. Bobby K, put the name of your channel in the chat. We are going to be talking North London Derby. But right now we are focused on the task at hand, which is PSV Eindhoven at home tomorrow night at the Emirates. So, Jez, on that subject of Ramsdale versus Raya, what are your thoughts on it? I mean, do you think Ramsdale has done enough just over his span at Arsenal to not be questioned, or do you believe like are you a what have you done for me lately kind of guy on this one?
Well, look, let's put this in context.
Yeah,
This is typical Arteta being a prick, right? Thinking he's better than he knows that he thinks he is.
Yeah.
Right? Arteta likes to make out that he's got something very special about him. Ramsdale's done, he might look nothing wrong. Ray's coming, okay, and he did a job at Everton. Let's get it right. He wasn't really tested. He could have sat in a deck chair with a cup of tea. I'm sorry, but Everton didn't really do a lot. And let's also look at the fact that when we went 1-0 up, we started to play the stupid nonsense of tippy-tapping around the back. Put ourselves under pressure. And when we brought Havertz on, right, it nearly cost us. Because he made an error. This is typical Arteta thinking he knows better than anybody else, right? And this is a danger. We've got to be aware of this. This is him thinking he's Pep Guardiola. He thinks he's Mourinho in that he can bully players. Well, you do bully players, Arteta, but you do it for all the wrong reasons. If he starts Raya tomorrow, I'm happy. I think he's a class goalkeeper.
Yeah.
But when you start tinkering like this, you're going to lose the faith in yourself, Arteta, of your other goalkeeper in Ramsdale. Ramsdale's done you a service for 2 seasons. You bought him.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah.
To show the guy some faith. And this would be another one, people. Probably in January, Chelsea are looking at him. And I think, is it Bayern Munich are looking at him? He'll be out the door.
You really think there's validity to those rumors, Jez?
TJ, that's one thing you say.
Sure.
TJ, I wouldn't be surprised. Think about it. Ray is Spanish. The whole Spanish. This is now my Spanish goalkeeper. Here
we go. Here comes the Spanish.
But it's true. He will now become Arteta's new favourite. Do you know what? Jez just made me think about that. And I agree. He will become Arteta's new favourite. Anyway, go on, Jez.
Well, no, continue your thought, Jez. Sorry.
Totally agree with you. This is the whole aspect of this idiotic arsewipe of a manager in Arteta, right? He flips and flops, right? And he then gets to the point like an impetuous little child of, I've got this new toy in Raya, you're out. I don't want to play with you anymore. You can go in the box. And that's what he does. How many times, guys, have we seen this happen? Right? He gets the arse with certain players and they're out the door. And look at what happened in this summer transfer window. We started so well. And then we buy Havertz, £65 million for a complete flop. Right? Yeah? I hope he succeeds. I really do. But at the end of the day, he outs players. He suddenly thinks, oh, no, I've got a better toy to play with today. I'll put him in there.
Yeah.
That's him. That's his mentality.
Facts.
And that is why I'm saying to you right here, right now, we will never win jack shit with this manager. Because there's no consistency, there's no belief, and players will get the ump. Look what he did to Pepe. What did Pepe do wrong? In your views, what did he do wrong? Nothing. He went on loan. He came back. He had a train down the road. Why? Probably, guys, because he had a word with Arteta and said, "Why are you treating me like this?"
Yeah.
He's such an arrogant arsehole, Arteta, that you can't discuss things with him. He will just throw you in the bin.
Hey,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no, yeah, no, facts. I mean, let's get to the super chats, and then I have a little bit of I'm gonna challenge you guys on this just a little bit, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we disagree on this, which is totally fine on this channel. Let's go ahead and go to the super chats, though. This is a new segment for me. This is a new experience for me. Connor, who is on the panel with 500 subs. I'm excited too, Connor. I texted you from the golf course when I got the email yesterday. I was excited.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah. Big up Dal every single time. Dal is also on the channel. So big up Dal. Thank you for the $10. Thanks, chat, for hanging out with us today. I agree. And then Tony.
He's a tight bugger. That should have been 100.
Add an extra zero onto that down, mate.
And then Tony says, "Thank you, Jez. Congratulations, CJ Connor, DVS, 500 plus subs. Oh, woohoo! Yeah, no, thank you, Tony. I am doing the KC shuffle all over this place, but I'm turning the camera off first because I can't dance. But big up." And then again, here we go. I knew this is. I just had a feeling this was going to happen.
Oh, Danny, you
Danny,
legend, man.
You absolute legend. Thank you so much, man. Let me send you something or something. Jeez, we might have to one of those mugs. We might have to.
TJ Warren TV merch. TJ Warren TV merch.
The merch is coming, but there's going to be a special mug that I'm working on.
Yes,
that's going to be absolutely incredible, and it's an American only item. I don't think they sell Yetis in Europe, so it keeps your drinks cool. It like literally the ice will not melt. It is one of the coolest.
They're water bottles. Well, they're water bottles.
No, they're not well, they sell water bottles, but I'm talking about it's like a low Rambler. It's like a stainless steel. I have them on the channel sometimes, but they're like these Ramblers, only they're stainless steel and they're insulated, so the ice literally never melts. It's absolutely incredible. Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. No, look them up. They're awesome. And you can make your own custom ones. So I'm going to make custom ones. I'm definitely going to order probably six or seven of them. I'm going to send one or two to my cohorts here, Jez, Connor, Dal, everybody that's helped me build the channel, and then a special winner on the 500 sub celebration, which we are planning currently. So big up everybody that's on there. How much do you work for, TJ? There's not enough money in the world. There's not enough money in the world, Cubed. There's not enough money in the world, Cubed, especially for you, because you'd clip it and use it as blackmail. Cube's a Spurs fan, everybody, so don't get it twisted. She has her own agenda.
We'll see you on Sunday, Cubed. We'll see you on Sunday.
We'll see you on Sunday, Cubed. Absolutely. No need TJ. We're bar time for football. Oh yeah. All right. I appreciate it, Danny. Thank you, man. That means a lot. Okay. No, I want to challenge on this a little bit. I mean, maybe it is just my perspective, because I come from a hockey background, right? So they switch goalies in and out all the time. So is it really just are goalies viewed as having you got to be mentally stronger than the rest of the 10 that are out there to say, I am the guy, I am the one guy in this position that can do the job in the big moments? Or is there room between, 1A, 1B, like I'm kind of saying, play Rhea in the lower stake, should I say, Premier League games and domestic cup competitions, maybe group stage games in the Champions League when we're not particularly worried, and then play Ramsdale in the higher stake games, or vice versa? I mean, is there really a stigma around that kind of strategy?
I think, honestly, I think it's always, for me, when I've watched football, it's always been a case of and this is the thing we've now. This is the situation we've now got. You've always had the main. Like if you look at Man City, for example, they've got Edison and they've got Ortega. Now, in no disrespect, even though he is a good goalkeeper, Ortega is not on the levels of Edison. But they've got a goalkeeper where they can use him in cup games. I wouldn't be surprised if they use him in the old Champions League game. So that's what you normally have in a position like this. You have your main, who's, in my opinion, this is my opinion, you have your main goalkeeper, who is your starter every week, your Edisons, your Allisons, even your Jordan Pickfords, if you want to go down that low. So you've got that guy, and then you've also got one that's always behind. And he will be played in the cup, maybe in the odd, if you have Europe playing the European games. This we've Arsenal have done before. But we're now in a situation where, and this is in no disrespect to former secondary goalkeepers we've got goalkeepers who are very, very good. And I don't know what Arteta said to. I wouldn't be surprised if Arteta had spoken to both Ramsdale and Raya about the situation, obviously, especially when Raya came in. So I don't know how Arteta's going to go about it, whether it's just going to be who he sees better in training, because obviously if we have Ramsdale starting every Premier League game practically, it's not going to really. I know we've got midweek games, but you're not really going to see as much, in my opinion, of David Raya as you would see Ramsdale, maybe.
Yeah, right.
So
I agree with that.
Maybe it's going to be more what Arteta sees on the training pitch. I don't know. It's going to be really interesting how he goes about it, TJ. I mean, I do think he will go with Ramsdale tomorrow. If he goes with Raya, fair play. Like I said, I'm not complaining. I mean, I'm happy with either. I mean, I was happy with Raya's last performance, so put him in for all I care. But I mean, I think we have to buy Raya at the end of the season anyway. I don't know what obligation we put in with Brentford, but I think we sort of have to buy him at the end of the season. So I think one goalkeeper is going to be out the door, and I think it could be Ramsdale in the situation we're in, which is unfortunate, but this is the situation we're in unless they like to be rotated that much. But I don't think you can do that with a team. I don't think you can constantly rotate a goalkeeper every other game. I just don't think you can do that. Because I'm
not saying necessarily every other game. I'm just saying, big.
No, but I'm saying that, but I'm saying it because that's what they'll want. These goalkeepers, especially because they're young, they will want game time, constant game time. 100%. So one won't want to be sitting on the bench for practically all season and playing the odd Champions League or Cup game. So one's going to lose, in my opinion. Fortunately, I wish we could have both. But if you look at it in hindsight, unless they draw some sort of agreement that one's going to play the odd game, one's going to play the other, which I don't think they should do. It's got to be your main goalkeeper, who is the best performer, and it stays like that, or one goes.
You think it's going to be Ramsdale?
Just in the case that we've got to buy Rare at the end of the season. I mean, I'm not going to buy him and then sell him, are we? So it's got to be Ramsdale. But it's such a shame, and especially if he goes down to Chelsea, I'll be fuming. So, hey, but listen, and I'm happy with the situation because I'd rather have two good goalkeepers than one good one and one crap one. So, but we're in a predicament, boys. We're in a predicament.
We are in a predicament. No, and I want to come to Jess because obviously this model is not sustainable. Like I get that it's not sustainable, but I mean I would rather have no offense to my countryman Matt Turner, but I would rather have David Raya, proven Premier League goalkeeper, and Ramsdale, also proven Premier League goalkeeper, as a 1 and a 2 or 1A 1B than Matt Turner. No offense, but I'm sure he'll come good at Forest. Yet he's happy with him, so there you go. That's all. I'll leave it at that. But I want to get Jez's opinion, Jez, because I think you disagree with what I said, which is fine. But I wanted to ask you. So if you don't think that this is sustainable, which I understand why, who's going to be on their way out?
Between the goalkeepers?
Yeah.
Ramsdale.
Yeah. Do you think we'll regret that by the end of it, or who do you think has the bigger upside?
Absolutely. I totally agree. I think the fact remains is this, that Arteta's probably looked at Ramsdale in the fact he got it easy when he had Matt Turner as goalkeeper. He never challenged him, right? Yeah. And so he's gone and got Raya on a loan with an option to buy from Brentford because he's got annoyed with him. This is my belief. I've no proof on this. He lets in weak goals because he's got complacent. Okay, he's never had a challenge really in the last couple of seasons. So he's now brought in a goalkeeper in Raya, who, when you look at his stats for Brentford last season, they were exemplary. So he's now brought in the fact that he's like, okay, well, I'll bring somebody in to actually challenge you, and I'll see what you're about. And we have to be honest, guys. Right? Start of this season, Ramsdale's been pretty pony crap. He's let in some stupid goals from bad positioning, bad ball distribution, which he used to be very good at. And he's now, I think he's now become vulnerable. Hence, and respect to Arteta for this one. I'll give him my respect. He knew going to Everton is a difficult day out.
Yep.
Right? So he's decided to bring in a player that is going to be 110% focused in a game where he didn't really get challenged. Let's be fair. You know, he, as Lee Gunner said, he could have sat there on an armchair with a cigar, enjoying the sunshine. I mean, they didn't really test him, did they? Let's get it right. You know? But the fact is, what Arteta is doing is testing the ground. He's brought in Raya, and I'm sure Ramsdale's now thinking, oh, crap. Oh, crap. I've now a challenger, because I have to be honest, Raya's ball distribution at Everton was far better than Ramsdale's been for a long while. I don't like if Arteta's intention is to go back to the stupid nonsense playing out the back bullshit, right? That's going to cost us, because we're not good enough to do that. We're not Manchester City. We aren't going to, I mean, I'm sorry, we're just not that good at doing that.
Yeah.
I much preferred when I saw Raya kicking drop kicks out from his 18-yard, and he can kick it a country bloody mile. He can kick that ball off like it reminds me of the days of Pat Jennings, when he could kick it into the 18-yard box. Seriously.
Yeah.
So, to answer your question, man, it's up for a battle now. It's up for question. And I will not be at all surprised if tomorrow night we see David Raya starting.
Yeah.
Facts. No, I agree with you. I wouldn't be surprised either way, to be completely fair. Really wouldn't. We got 14 inside. Make sure you're smashing the likes up, everybody. We got a couple of starred comments. Unfortunately, this is a starred comment, but it's terrible news. A friend of Dow's son suffered an accident, is in critical condition, due to coma. Make sure that you guys are sending your positive thoughts, your positive prayers towards Dow and his family and his family.
Sorry about that, Dow, man.
Awful, Dow. So, and I know Dow's had a couple of friends that are going through similar situations right now. So, again, make sure that you send all of your positivity towards our friend Dow, aka Oregon Gooner, aka DVS, aka the co-host with the most. Make sure that you are, send them up tonight if you can, everybody. Really appreciate it. No, Dow, we love you, brother. If there's anything we can do, just let us know. You know that.
Why do you have so many car accidents in America?
Because people, I don't know. I don't want to get too much into it, but people get way too much power at a young age in this country, I think. And there's not enough vetting, in my opinion, but it is what it is. It is what it is, unfortunately. So send them up for Dal and their friends and family, everybody. Really appreciate it. Let's see what else we got here. I don't even want to address this.
Oh, God. Where have you seen that, Tony, mate? Jesus.
Yeah, no, I didn't see any. I need to see a source on this, Tony, before I comment on it. But all I gotta say is he hasn't won anything, so that's
he can't.
it's extremely premature.
There's no way, unless he wins something this season, there is no way he gets a contract extension. I'd be very surprised if the Cronkies trusted him for another 4 years. It's practically 4 years with more money, more of their money, and he hasn't won anything. I think they'd be very stupid to do that. So if that's the case,
no, I 100%. I 100% agree with you. And Cubed is sending. She's a Spurs fan, but unfortunately, she's throwing gas on this fire on the infighting within our fan base. But unfortunately, she's not going to find too many people that disagree on this subject. Question for the panel: is Fraud Teta trying to pep it up by fiddling so much with the squad and formations? I know Jez's answer.
I guarantee.
Jez, you want to comment on this one real quick, and then we'll throw it over to Connor.
It's just fraudulent. It is just fraudulent, man. The guy, he's trying to be bigger than he is. At the end of the day, let's just look at what happened last season. This time last season, we were taking teams apart at ease.
Yep.
At ease, scoring 3 goals, 4 goals, 2 goals. Our biggest win this season, 3-1 Man United at home against a very poor Man United. Let's get that right. I mean, they are deeply, deeply dog shit. We are not playing the football that we were. It is dogged football. It's slow. It's predictable. I mean, we have a major problem in the fact that we can't take teams apart when they go and park the bus, which we all knew. We all knew, guys, that Sean Dyche was going to do at the weekend. That's what he does. Then he tries to get you on the break and he'll bully the midfield, which he did. I predicted it in my match preview. Yep. Who knew? Oh, if I can predict it, right, and I know shit about football, then I'm sure Arteta can. No, he can't. He's an absolute bloody clown because at the end of the day, he's playing boring football. He doesn't have a plan B. He doesn't have a plan C, right? Oh, but he has these 43 different bloody formations in the game. Bullshit. What are you on, man? I mean, what are you smoking? You are an absolute arsewipe. And at the end of the day, you are going to cost us desperately. Desperately. You're going to cost us. And the sooner you cost us, right, I'm sad to say this, guys, the quicker he will be out of this club.
I don't think you're sad to say it at all.
Until he's out of this club, we ain't winning jack. We ain't going to win the Champions League. We ain't going to win the Premier League. We ain't going to win the FA Cup. And we ain't going to win the League Cup.
No, I agree.
Yep.
I agree, unfortunately. Connor, give us your thoughts, and then we're going to quickly rattle off our starting 11s and our predictions, and then we got to get out of here. We had to do a tight hour today, people, because we have work, and Connor has to get his beauty rest before he goes and watches the Arsenal tomorrow.
Got half day tomorrow, so I've got to work hard tomorrow morning.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a knock because I think a lot of people can agree with me, and a lot of Arsenal fans have said this. Including. I'm trying to think. Yeah, 5 games in so far this season. I'm not convinced by one of them yet. Even the United game, because it was at the end of the day, it was a good game because we won it in the 90th minute. That doesn't mean we played good football. You know, I enjoyed it because of the scene at the end. But apart from that, even the first 45 minutes of the Nottingham Forest game, I was like, okay, we could be back into it now. But then the second 45 was just dead. So if I really had to really pick a time where we've been good this season, it'd be the Forest game, but for 45 minutes. So part of that, I haven't been even convinced by the team this season. And it's definitely not the team that were playing last season, as Jez just pointed to. We were destroying teams left, right, and centre. Even in pre-season, we were just destroying teams. I know it's pre-season, but we smashed Chelsea 4-0. We played some good football. We were even playing good football at the start of the season, and now it's just like in my opinion, it's bad football because we're playing the same football, but teams have figured it out. It's as simple as that. I mean, I was actually quite surprised. Everton were actually the first team that we've played this season, which I'm quite surprised. I don't know why Dyche didn't recognise this. That 2 players weren't actually on Saka and Martinelli the whole time. It was mainly just the right back and it was just the fullbacks. But, bar that, it's just the same where we just wait and wait and wait to pass and pass and pass. And I'll say one thing. Because obviously I wasn't on the match reaction, and I just thought about it now. We don't take our chances. We don't take them. Everton,
No, we don't.
We kept passing and passing. We were in the final third, and we didn't shoot. There's so many opportunities we've had where we haven't shot, and we just keep passing it around. I don't know whether that's just to put off the defence more to try and make something, but at the end of the day, we need, as much as we need clean sheets, we need goals to get up this goal difference. Liverpool, Tottenham, and City are all above us in goal difference. I think even Brighton are above us in goal difference as well. I'm not too sure. So, yeah, I think they are. So we need to be getting more goals. We can't just be playing pretty football, passing it around. As much as I want us to hold possession and dominate every game, at the end of the day, we need goals, man. And yeah, you can put it down to not having a striker, but it's down to, again, Arteta making the same rookie mistakes. Same thing again. Late substitutions, keeping players on for so long, not changing it up. I was crying for that Trossard substitution against Everton.
Yeah.
And wait, guys, what does he do? He comes on and scores a goal. Why don't you do that in the 45? Why don't you do that in the 50? Stop dragging it out. Stop having to prove yourself every game to shut up critics. Shut up critics by showing trophies. Don't just think you're the smart ass and think what you've done before will work again. Because it won't. It's football. People find you out. And I think we've been lucky. And as much as I was confident against C-Cubed earlier, this Tottenham team's different, man. This Tottenham team's different this season. And as much as they have been destroyed at the Emirates in the last how many years now whenever they come to the Emirates in the league. But it could go either way, man. I'm being serious. It could go either way on Sunday. Because just the way I'm looking at that Tottenham team, especially the way they played, Sheffield, I think it was a bit of a mishap. They played good football, but they just couldn't get a goal. But even before that, against Burnley and all these other teams, they've been doing really well. As much as I like to banter them, I'm going to keep it real. Basuma, Pepe Sarr, Maddison, Son, they've all looked not pretty good. They've all looked really good. So we've got a team to play against, man. And Postecoglou's doing a good job. And if we ain't scoring loads of goals, we're going to be screwed. That's what I'm saying. We're going to be going into these games. If we're going to be keep passing and passing and passing and passing and passing, not creating anything, it's going to be the same thing. And as much as Arteta wants to talk about he can make different defensive formations and all this stuff, well, then why don't you prove it? Come up with a different tactic. If you want to do a different formation, but do it correctly and not put Partey right back, put players in their normal positions, but just do something different because we're going to get found out. We're going to get found out either way. So, but we'll see, man, because I think, look at the games we've played so far, I think Tottenham, as much as you want to say it,
Tottenham is our first quality opponent of the season.
It's our first test.
I cannot believe I'm saying that.
That's definitely our first test because United are shit. They are.
Yeah.
We should have, bar Havertz, we should have been 2-0 up. It should have been 4-1. We should have absolutely slapped them even before the 2 goals at the end. So, but this is going to be a real test. And I think Ange has really got them cooking. But I hope we win because one, it will shut them up because they are gassed at the moment and I want to shut them up. But they're gassed for a reason because they're playing good football, finally. And they've got decent players. I said this to so many Tottenham fans. You've got the structure. You've got the foundations in the team. You've got players that can do the job. And look what they've got now. They've got a team playing very good football. So we'll see. But at the end of the day, I'm happy it's at the Emirates because normally at the Emirates we smash them. But full throttle, man. Full throttle. And also, I don't want to see Nketiah starting. That's another thing I wanted to quickly point out because obviously I wasn't on the match reaction the other day.
You know he'll start, man. You know that.
I just don't get it. This guy has like 2 games and he drops off. He has 2 good games and then he just disappears. And he bangs on about how. And I saw things the other day about how he's going even harder in training and he loves to press. He loves to get the ball. And I'm like, well, Eddie, I'm sorry, I didn't see. Yeah, it's like, Eddie, I didn't even see that the other day. And I'd rather have Gabby Jesus there. So I think Jesus will start tomorrow. I hope so. But we need firepower. And if Jesus is the only option, then what else have we got? So, yeah. But anyway, to answer your question, TJ. Sorry, Jez. Answer your question, DJ. Arteta has got to fix up and stop thinking he's better than everyone else. Because at the end of the day, you're better than everyone else if you win the trophies and you prove that you can do it. But you haven't done it yet. By 1 FA Cup. Yeah,
Jez, what were you gonna say?
I guarantee you, man, tomorrow Nketiah will start along with Havertz. Because the fact that Arteta is a believer, and I am convinced. I've said this before. I don't care what anybody says to me. It's in his contract. He has to start a certain amount of games, and it will certainly be in the European Cup, Champions League, whatever you want to call it. The fact of the matter is, he's going to start tomorrow. You know that, right? And I think we'll win. But back to your point about the Tottenham game. Yeah, I totally agree with you, man. It's going to be a sticky banana again.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into this one like I was last season, totally convinced of getting a win. I can see that being a sticky one and maybe walking out of there with a draw. And because we're just not scoring the goals. I've said it time and time again. I've said it for 3 transfer windows. We have never gone out there and bought a top-level striker. Jesus is good. Okay, I get that. He's okay. But he was never a starting striker at Man City.
True.
Was he?
Yeah.
Was he?
Nope.
Right?
Nope.
And he's not a 20-goal-a-year player. And he's injury-prone, people. Dare say I say it. So, happened last season. I'm sure it'll happen again. Eddie Nketiah is just absolute a pile of shit because he's just not worth a wank, to be honest. He's rubbish. I'm sorry, he's rubbish. He's absolutely worse than Bentner, and he's worse than bloody well. He's crap.
What about Sonogo, Jez? Is he worse than Sonogo?
Yeah.
Oh, brutal, Jez.
I am brutal because at the end of the day, I want people to win, and
100%.
we haven't got them, man.
Agreed.
I could name you others than that, but he's pony, man. He's pony.
Yeah. Well, like I said, and literally, Anthony just said it. You look at the likes of Man City. I said this the other day with TJ, I believe. City, they have Haaland, right? And if he gets injured, it's massive. But they've got Julian Alvarez, and Julian Alvarez isn't a Haaland, right? Yeah, Julian Alvarez isn't a Haaland, right? But if Haaland does get injured, for a fact Julian Alvarez is going to walk in there and get goals. That's investing, not saving and extending a contract on Eddie Nketiah. It's not. I mean, I'd happily have Jesus as a number 2 and out and out. I'm going to say it again because I will say it until the day he goes to a different club. Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney seems like the only logical option for Arsenal at the moment with the way the striker market is looking. English, Premier League proven, scores 20-plus goals a season with Brentford, by the way, who people don't seem to rate. Who, in my opinion, they're actually a pretty decent side. They have had injuries recently, which hasn't helped. But if he's in a Brentford team like that with some really good attackers, imagine what he'd be in a team like with City or Liverpool or even Arsenal with Martinelli and Saka.
Did you see today, Connor, that Thomas Frank has said that he may be for sale for the right money in January?
Yeah, I have seen that when he was on Monday Night Football. Yeah, and listen, and this is the time. If you're Edu or any of them or Arteta, you see that you're on the phone straight away, and you put your marker down, because I guarantee he said that, and clubs are sending through or talking right now. And if we have bollocks and don't put in 55.251, actually put in the money they want, we can get him in January. We've got the money. It's just the fact if we want to go ahead and spend it.
It's because the club want him out.
Yeah.
The club have decided, at the end of the day, he's done the naughty things he's done. We want him gone. If you've got £80 million to spend, which would probably be the starting price, 80 million.
Facts.
If you go in, if Edu and Arsenal have got any balls, they'll go in there and say, right now, behind the scenes, okay, let's do a deal. We'll start you off at 70 million, negotiate. It ends up at 80 million, right?
Yeah.
And we'll take him in January. We'll take him off your hands.
Yeah.
That's business. That's how you do it. No, Arsenal, Edu and crew will go in with nonsense, 40 million bid.
And £1.
And £1.
Literally.
That hurt. That literally, I felt that in my gut just turned.
Luis Suarez, man.
Was it
Benzema? Sorry, it was Luis Suarez. I think it was Luis Suarez.
No, it was Suarez. No, and with everybody else that with everybody else that's going in on Tony, there may be a bidding war. You hear Chelsea, talking about it. You hear United talking about it. You hear freaking Tottenham talking about it, even though they got they got a striker in Sonny. It's one of those things where you have to worry about getting into a bidding war, and if it gets too high of a price, we will bow out. Declan Rice was an exception.
Yeah. Yes,
I agree.
100%.
But we're not the only people that can go in now, Jez. That's all I'm saying. Everybody, once people see that we're going to go in now, everybody else is going to light it up, and then you're going to see the rumor mill spinning. It's going to be ridiculous. Football London's website is going to crash because everybody's going to be looking at it. It's going to be nuts. but yeah. Anyway, all right, guys, we got to wrap up. We got 18 inside. Make sure you're smashing the likes up. Really, really appreciate it. Jez, obviously having you on is always a blast. Give us your starting 11 and then shout out your channel. And again, thank you for everything you've done for TJ Warren TV. Obviously, we've talked about it. And again, man, thank you. So give us your starting 11 for the PSV game. Shout out your channel, and we are going to start getting out of here, guys.
My starting 11 is Raya in goal. I'm going White at right back, Saliba, Gabriel. I am going to go with don't like it, Zinchenko. Don't like it. I'd rather go with Kiwa. But then going Rice, Odegaard, and I'd mix this one a little bit. ESR out there. I don't want to see Saka. I want him rested. And I'm gonna go up front. We've lost Martinelli, so that's another one gone.
Yeah.
Jesus. I'll put Jesus out on the right. Okay. And up front. Who can we stick up front? Who we got? Who we got this? That's a question, isn't it? Who we got up front?
Yeah.
I'd go Maitland-Niles.
Maitland-Niles? You mean Nelson? Nelson.
Oh,
Nelson. You mean Nelson? Sorry. Yeah.
Reece Nelson.
Yeah, we know what you meant.
Reece Nelson. Because but look, let's just think about that. How weak are we? How weak are we? I had to seriously think there about a squad.
Yeah.
11.
But Jess, we had an 8 out of 10 transfer window. What are you talking about?
But look at the likes. Look at the likes of Liverpool. They've got Diogo Jota. They've got Nunes. They've got Gakpo. They've got Luis Diaz. Salah. They've got 5 fantastic options, and we've got 1 as a striker.
No, I agree.
Or attacker, even.
Just shout out your channel. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. We don't have
mate, I mean, Jesus Christ, sit here actually really think about who would I start tomorrow. That is shocking, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It is.
Seriously, in the Champions League, and yet everybody was shouting out, "Oh, when we get in the Champions League, we'll be attracting all these world-class players." Really? Have we got one? No. There we go. Anyway.
What's your score prediction, Jez? What's your score prediction? What are you gonna say?
Score prediction, Jez. Though
I am going to go 2-0 Arsenal.
All
And thanks for having me on, guys.
of course, anytime, Jez.
I do get into it too much. Connor, legend.
We all do.
Thank you, man. And I still, sorry to tell you this, TJ, I still have an intro on YouTube. People tell it. They say it all the time. I'm sorry.
I bowed out of that conversation a long time ago, Jez.
People keep telling me. They keep saying. Anyway, no, I'm joking. Guys, thanks for having me on, man. Arsenal history and more. Arsenal content, history, crap, and all that. Talk, whatever. And thanks, man, for inviting me on.
Of course, anytime. Connor.
Yeah.
Starting 11 score prediction. No more context because I literally have to call this person back.
No,
sorry. I got to wrap out.
I'm going to go for Raya in goal just because he looked good the other day, got a clean sheet, and I think he deserves another shot. Why not? Keep Ramsdale ready for Spurs on Sunday if you really want to play him. I'm going to go for. Do you know what? If we want to rotate a bit, I'll rotate. I'll put Tomiyasu at right back over Ben White. Just think, let Ben White chill for a bit. Put Tomiyasu there. He's not that bad. He's an option. We got him.
Yeah.
Gabriel Saliba. I'm going to have to play Zinchenko because we don't have Kieran Tierney anymore. Cheers, Arteta. I'm going to put Declan Rice, Odegaard, and God. Do you know what? No, I'm going to. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do Jorginho. I'm going to do Jorginho, Odegaard, Rice, and up front I'm going to do. I was going to do Martinelli, but Arteta's got him out. Cheers, Arteta.
Yeah.
It's not really Arteta's fault. I'm going to put Trossard, Jesus, and Reece Nelson.
All right. Score prediction?
I'm not going to jinx it, touch wood. Every time I've been to an Arsenal game live, we haven't lost. So let's keep that streak going.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go for 3-0. Why not? Come on, the Arsenal.
Even Cube knows what's coming. Let's be honest. Let's be honest here. Champions League, shout your channel out though, or not your channel. Shout your Instagram out and this beautiful work that you have here though. Seriously.
Yeah. You guys can find me on cmo.editing on Instagram. I do all the work for TJ on his channel. So if you like the look of it or anything that I do on his channel, please feel free to hit me up on there for any editing needs. And I've done stuff for obviously Jez as well, including that intro, which I think is the best on YouTube. I can't remember if Jez said
I think it's pretty much the best on YouTube though.
I can't remember if Jez said that or not, so it might be. I'm not too sure, but you can find me on there. And appreciate you all coming on a bit late here in the UK. So I'm off to bed. Got an early start of work because I've got a half day, and then I'm off to the Emirates. So I'm looking forward to it.
There we go.
So,
There we go.
Me, man, Connor. Everybody tells me it's the best info on YouTube. Go and look at the chat. Go and look at my chat. They tell me it's the best.
What can I say?
I agree. I agree, and I really enjoy my surf rock intro. So it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, let me shout out the super chats one more time again. Danny, you absolutely insane, epic individual. Big up yourself every single time. Thank you so much for your donations to the channel. Obviously, Connor and Oregon Gooner, they're part of the channel, so I don't know why they would do that, but it is what it is. And then Tony, of course, thank you so much. Appreciate it, man. I am Casey shuffling on out of here. My starting 11 for the match tomorrow is QER at left back. I don't want to see Zinchenko.
Yeah.
And they'll probably save Zinchenko for the North London derby.
Yeah.
Gabriel and Saliba because we have nobody else. I don't want to see Cedric Suarez anywhere near that lineup either. Right back, Tomiyasu. I agree. Jorginho. Do you want what I want or what I think?
Go for what you want. Go for what you want.
Okay, good. Yeah. So Jorginho, Rice, Odegaard. Trossard on the left, Nelson on the right. I'm going to say Eddie and Kedia up top. Actually, no, I'm not going to say Jesus up top because I think Eddie and Kedia is going to end up playing in the North London Derby. I'm just saying what I think is real. I think is what is going to happen, Jez. I'm not excited about it. I'm not excited about it.
Mate, Jez's face was like, for fuck's sake.
Jez's soul left his body. I literally saw it. But no, I'm just being real. I know I want to see Jesus start both games, but I'm going with a hybrid of what I want. And
man.
I don't want
Jesus
Eddie and
Christ.
Kedia to start. I want this to be clear. 2-0 to the Arsenal is what I'm going with. Jez, no, Jez. Before Jez hangs himself and defriends me on all social media platforms. I just need to put out that disclaimer. Yeah, I know. Yeah, what else? I'll send Jez a bottle of red for that one. All right, guys. We're gonna go ahead and out of here. This has been TJ Warren TV again. We will be on for a match reaction probably Thursday. Probably not tomorrow, just because we got a lot of stuff going on, and Connor's gonna be at the Emirates, so we want to get his match reaction during the Let's Be Real show on Thursday. And then we have the North London is our show over on Tottenham Away on Thursday, and we will announce the rest of the shows during those shows. So again, thank you all for your support. Everybody super chatted, everybody supported this channel all the way up to 500 subs. Come on, you Gunners. It's time to go on a Champions League run, baby. Let's do it. We'll see you next time.